Hello, good morning, afternoon. This is Tanya Lormore, real estate advisor and California broker. I am very excited to share what is going on in Orange County and Los Angeles. They're all kind of close together, right? We're all in one area. We're all seeing the same kinds of trends, but it has definitely been interesting in 2020. What we will be covering today are the tips for buyers and sellers. Really important, especially today with everything furloughed people, people that are working out of their retirement accounts. Maybe you're wanting to know what your options are before you spend so much time and energy getting looking for homes and then find out you may or may not qualify for the neighborhood you want, getting pre-approved with a lender. And I'm going to go over the market in Orange County and kind of opportunities that are out there. So here we go. This is me. I'm Tanya Lormore. I've been with Marshall Reddick Real Estate for 7 years. I've sold so many properties, over 600 and counting. I think I'm already close to the 700 range. I don't even know. I know that I need to get specific with the numbers because people love to hear that, but I'm more focused on you guys. So my goal is I'm a finance major. Numbers are very important. It makes sense for you guys to know what you're getting into. Real estate is a long-term play. And yeah, we'll go from there. A little bit about Marshall Reddick Real Estate. If you don't know who we are and it's your first time, we are a full real estate brokerage. A lot of people consider us a one-stop shop. So what that means is we already have an abundance of valuable resource, contractors, insurance agents, lenders, real estate CPAs that focus on people that own real estate. Basically everything under the sun. We have either a recorded presentation on it or someone that we can refer you to get an additional opinion. We also do private money lending. So if you want to lend your money and make money and be a bank and make anywhere between 7 to 11% return on your dollar, I'm happy to share about that. And we do property management. This is some of our team. We're across the United States. This is our Orange County office. It has grown since we took that photo. Here's our lending team. So they would be able to discuss a little bit more with you guys on private money lending. Also, we have full property management in California and Texas and Florida, Kentucky, and Tennessee. But I'm sure y'all are just interested in California at this time. So we have so many properties under contract. These are our different Texas teams for property management. So now that I've given a quick intro, I know everyone is on here for different reasons, right? So why are we all on here today, this morning, setting time aside to go over our futures, right? So can you guys type in that chat box, in the questions box, just go ahead and say, number one, I'm looking to, sell. Number two, looking to buy. Who's tired of renting, wants to know the options of affordability, or number four, owns rental and they want to have help either analyzing to sell that property or get it rented out for the highest and best dollar amount. So if you guys could just type in 1, 2, 3, or 4, that'll really help us understand how we can help you. I just know that each one of these are hot topics. I am active all day, every day, helping people buy and sell real estate, not just here locally, but out of state. So I have 53 reviews. We have many, as you can see. We have lots of agents, but I absolutely love what I do. And I think it's important when you're interviewing an agent to do a purchase or a sale, it's so important to know that they're there and they understand what they're doing, especially when it comes to contracts, right? So our goal at Marshall Reddick Real Estate is to help you become successful in whatever you're looking to do. It's always a celebration time when you close and get the keys to your home. So hope I get the opportunity to earn your business in one way or another, guys. Our listings, we are all over the place, right? So I've personally sold all the way out in the valley in Los Angeles and out to Palm Springs, and then of course, down the coast in South Orange County. And I personally grew up in Temecula, so I've helped people buy and sell in Temecula as well. So I always say I'm a 2-hour radius because California, you can get anywhere, the mountain, the sea, the desert in 1 hour. It's such a beautiful place to be. In all that, we have our preferred vendors, our power team, that can help you make these huge decisions, right? So we have our lender that'll help you understand what you can afford. Stan Dreckman's been with us for many years, and he has a preferred hotline for Marshall Reddick clients where you get a live person. You don't have to do a dial-a-tree. We have Dimitri. He helps people set up their retirement accounts into like checkbook control, self-directed IRAs. We are having a 1031 exchange presentation coming up within like the week. So a 1031 exchange super fast is a really cool loophole for somebody selling an investment property tax free, right? So you sell a home that you bought or your family bought for, $150,000 many moons ago, and now it's worth $1.4 million, right? You're going to get hit hard on capital gains. So a way around that is to sell your property and then tax-free invest everything forward to defer the taxes. So that's a really amazing tool. If you're interested in learning more about that, go on our website and sign up for that event. I've helped several people do 1031 exchanges. They're a lot of fun. So Tony Watson, my personal tax preparer. I drive to Glendale once a year. It's one of my most look forward to appointments. He saves me so much money. He's wonderful to help you make sure that you're getting the most from your hard-earned money saved. And then Shannon, she helps people set up like LLCs and things of that nature, family trusts, if you need to start protecting your assets for the long term. Now, what do you guys think? Is the market hot or is it cold? Now, that's a great question. And so many people say different things. It depends on who you are. Are you a buyer or are you a seller? So last month I was begging my buyers that I was working with before to get out there and start putting offers because it was a little uncertain, but now it's summertime and it has absolutely heated up. Like right now, I'm touring a couple of buyers in South Orange County, and everything now is like multiple offers. As to last month, yes, there were multiple offers, but it wasn't as crazy. We were able to get in and see homes much easier. So things have definitely sparked up, and the reason why it is much hotter now is the inventory on the market. There is less inventory than there was last year. Due to people not wanting to put their homes on the markets. There are many ways, which I'll get into on the seller portion, on how we can do the safe marketing plan so that people aren't just coming into your home if it's not vacant to, make everything go smoothly as far as COVID is concerned. But as far as what's going on now, the median home price in Orange County, you can see has gone up. This is definitely a appreciation market. So when you buy and hold, the trend is upwards. Who doesn't want to live by the ocean, right? So Renting versus buying, affordability, you break even for rents versus purchasing the home. So if you buy a home of $700,000, when you put down 25%, your mortgage payment is the same as what it would be to rent. That's not true everywhere, and I have examples for that coming up, but you can see that renting versus buying, this is why so many people are coming out to purchase, because they might as well. If you have the down payment, you're going to be putting money back into your home and then having that benefit on taxes and appreciation. So average days on market, this is changing all the time. Now this data was pulled for March 31st, but that's different than it is today. So now this number, it's a lot faster than it was a couple months back, just from me looking at showtime of people going to see homes and buying homes and putting them under contract. One thing I am seeing that's very interesting is homes are going into escrow and then they're falling out of escrow 5 days later. So when I'm working with my buyers, I say, let's still keep a really close eye on it or submit a backup offer so that we can be there for if and when it falls out of escrow. And typically what I'm hearing from agents that, accepted that buyer's offer is something happened. The work changed. The lending guideline changed for them. They weren't able to actually qualify in the end. So that's unfortunate. So average days on market in Orange County, it is definitely reducing. It's going, like literally everything is that I'm seeing in South County, it's going under contract in like 17 days or less. It's pretty incredible. So the supply, we're at a 3.2 month supply, which means that it is a seller's market. And this time of year has always been popular to be a seller's market. Everyone's looking to move the kids before they go to school, right? It's pleasant weather. People have time off. So nothing terribly unusual except for the fact that there's less inventory. So in order to get ahead of the herd of people that are also looking to buy, you need to have your buyer's qualification. Make sure that you are that strongest offer on the table. So when I work with Reed Hazard and his team, they've been amazing. They've been able to get better rates than like Bank of America and Chase Bank and even credit unions. My last two homes I helped people buy, they were with credit unions, and I just said, please, for peace of mind, shop. My job is to save you money, and let's start right now with what I can save you on your most important long-term monthly payment. So we get you pre-approved. Number two, will the lender be able to perform on time? So this is a big question and people don't quite understand this. So what I mean is, are you working with a direct lender? Reed and his team are. They're in-house. They're able to move your file faster or slower, whatever is to your best interest. Will they be able to perform on time? Yes. And if you work with a big bank, your documents are outsourced somewhere to the Midwest to a fully different department. And until that department gets the answer that the underwriter needs back in whatever department in California, nobody can push them. They're a big institution. This is how it works, and that's that. So there's a big difference in who you choose and how quickly they can actually adhere to their timelines that we write in the purchase offer. Now, when you're reviewing a contract, whether you're the buyer or the seller, You have to consider what's the highest and best offer. It's not just the purchase price that's important, it's the terms. So we'll go over that. I have a slide where there are timelines for contingency removals, because everything's about the timing for you to make your decision on where you're going to go, for you to give your landlord your notice, your 30-day notice, when it's safe to do so. If you're the seller, you know where you're going to go and how many days you need to get there. So timelines, really important to all parties. And then online reviews and ratings for buyers, lenders, agents. I can't, express enough to really research who you're working with, not just because they're your auntie or because your friend's sister's cousin is in real estate and they'll do the best for you. Really check out their experience. You would do so if you were getting open heart surgery, right? So why wouldn't you do the same for a huge financial purchase? So conventional financing, learning your options. Not all borrowers are the same, just like not all lenders are the same. So this is Reed Hazard. I've worked with him for almost a decade now. He's the preferred lender. I'll let you read all this on the screen because you're intelligent. I don't want to read it to you, but again, I really recommend that you cross-check and make sure you're getting the best deal on rates, points, service. Service is key. So what are the specific steps for getting pre-approved? Now, you can't just call in and do a phone approval. That doesn't hold up for you getting your offer accepted if you're buying, nor should it if you're the seller accepting an offer. You need to have your agent talk to the lender and ask them, did they do these 5 steps? If they didn't do these 5 steps, you're not in a safe, fuzzy place because it's not certain. So you got to put your application together. They'll pull a credit report. They're going to do an automated underwriting system to make sure that there are no issues, and then have all the supporting documents to substantiate that. And the underwriter will go over all official issues and give a conditional loan approval. A conditional loan approval is like gold, platinum gold, right? Versus just a pre-approval letter. So, if you come in with a conditional loan approval letter, you are so much further ahead as a buyer. And hey, sellers, make sure they have this. If one buyer has it over the other, really, lean towards that person. You will not have as many issues in your transaction. Now, why I love working with this team, like they will put the property address on this letterhead with their contact information. He'll put his phone number. What I do when I submit an offer for a buyer is I CC Reed and his team, and he goes ahead and he calls the listing agent just for that nice little touch, just to ensure that we fully reviewed your file, you're the strongest candidate, and this is what I can do, and this is how I'm going to do it, and let's make this successful for everybody. That extra touch is wonderful. This weekend, my clients that I met, gosh, almost a year ago, they're the sweetest family. They came down from Cupertino, California, and we went home searching. We lined up 15 homes to see over Saturday and early Sunday before they headed home. And they got Reed on the phone and did everything because their bank, Wells Fargo, wasn't going to answer their phone call on a Saturday afternoon, right? So Reed got on, went to his office, put everything together, got them fully set up, and here we are. Their offer just got accepted this morning. We had a counter last night, so I'm going to say congratulations to them for getting everything in order and being willing to move things around. So I am so happy for them. Important things with real estate: loan limits increase for the fourth year. So here, this chart with Fannie Mae, these are high cost areas, right? So this was really important because jumbo loans, things like that, Fannie Freddie, costs are higher, so they've increased. So in 2019, you can see it was much lower than it is today, and that is nice so that you can keep with a conforming loan. Here, we have it increased about $40,000. So the lending guidelines are always and forever changing, and this time a benefit to you. So sometimes it goes the opposite way. This time it's in your favor. So talking about learning about who you're going to work with, Reed Hazard's team, 47 reviews. Al Rodriguez, they're the top producing lending team in Orange County. People always end up switching and working with them. Even agents I work with want to work with them after we finish a transaction. This is Reed and his lovely family. Here is his contact information. Just make sure, say, hey, I was on the webinar with Tanya, and he will take amazing care of you, I promise. And if not, just reach out to me and I'll give any nudge I can, but that's never been the case. So I'll be happy to connect you at any time to him and his team. Now, interest rates, right? You think, oh, it's just, 3% to 4% doesn't make a big difference, but it does, because this is monthly. This is forever thing, locked in for 30 years, right? So this is a fun chart to kind of see the difference in what that means to your monthly payment. So here in California, let's just say we're going to purchase a home for 600,000, right? So interest rates are now here to here, depending on 3% to 3.1.25% based on your credit, right? So just imagine your payment being 120 something dollars less every month. That's pretty big. So these numbers obviously increase as you get larger. Homes sell for 1.4 million, so the difference is much different as you increase later. So let's look at real examples, right? So what does this mean to you? I went through and I did 475 all the way up to 2 million, because you can get a house for 475 in Temecula. You get a beautiful pool home, jacuzzi, view house, and maybe you're looking to retire, downsize, and you just want to get out of here and get out of Orange County and go to Temecula, where it's wine country and just a little bit more peaceful, a lot less expensive. Love to help you with that. But here is what this means to you. So if you have a 720 or higher FICO score, credit score, you can get a 30-year fixed loan. Purchase price of this at only 5% down. So you would only need to have out of pocket this about $25,000, right? You would have an interest rate of 3.25%. Your monthly payment would be less than $2,000. In Temecula, you can't rent a home like that for this price. That's why it's become so popular to purchase versus rent. And that's a continuing trend as long as the interest rates stay low. So here's the full breakdown, right, for just property taxes. Here in Orange County, it's 1.25%. And then you have your homeowner's insurance, just to make sure if anything happens that your structure can be rebuilt. Monthly insurance, here you are. So here's the dollar amount. And then this is what your payment would be with everything included. The reason why these are separate is sometimes people roll taxes in or pay them separate. So that's why I have the two different numbers for you. But in total, you're looking at $2,700 for 5% down. This exact same loan at 10% down, it goes down $200 a month. Pretty awesome. Now at 20% down, it's down to 2,200 at a 3% interest rate. I know, it's crazy, right? 2.99. Now on to something that might be a little bit more attainable here in Orange County, a property at $750,000 purchase price at only 5% down for home ownership. You can get into the home for this amount at a 3.25%. Your mortgage payment would be $4,200. So that's pretty awesome. You get the benefits of principal pay down, but these numbers are looking really good, right? So here, even better, you put down more, you put down 10%, you still have PMI, personal mortgage insurance. So as soon as you put down or reach that 20% of loan to value ratio, which you can refinance off later, it drops down significantly because you don't have the PMI, personal mortgage insurance. And so if you put down the full 20%, which is 150,000 at only a 3% interest rate, this is your mortgage. If you're renting a home, you know you're paying more than that in rent, right? So this is why it has sparked up so much interest. Anything under the 765. 765 is the number for it not to be over a jumbo loan. So 765,000 currently is what it is to be under the jumbo loan. So here we are. Now this is a jumbo loan, right? Homes easily go for this in Orange County. And we have it at 20% down for a $1.3 million home purchase. This would be the interest rate because it's going to be a jumbo, and your mortgage payment would be $6,000. Pretty incredible, right? Because homes in the $1.5 million range can lease for more than that. Sometimes in like luxurious neighborhoods, you get a better deal to rent versus own, but there's different tax advantages and benefits. As a tenant, you just say goodbye to that money. As a homeowner, you pay down your mortgage for one day to not have any more mortgage. In 30 years, you can always pay it off sooner if you come into money. But you're also getting the appreciation in the market. So as you guys have seen over the years, it continues to increase in value. That also ties into your wealth long-term, part of your retirement plan and safety net, right? So here we are. If you do 25% down, the interest rate decreases. And so your mortgage payment therefore is less. All right, now at 2 million, and this is our last example of what that means to you. You would put down this amount of money, and so for a $2 million home, your mortgage payment is about $9,200 a month. And then if you put down 25%, it drops down to $8,700 a month. So find your in-between space. Maybe you're at a 1.6 versus 2 million, so it'll be in between those numbers, right? So now let's go over the highlights of looking to buy a property. And also, you sellers out there, great to get in the mindset of what these buyers are looking to do and kind of maybe understand the strategy behind what it is that they're doing or should be coached by their buyer's agent representing them. So 3 tips for buyers. Number 1, get pre-approved, and we just learned why. Number 2, set your home buying criteria up front. Whenever I have my initial call with a home buyer, I ask, what's important to you in a home? What can't you live without, right? Do you need indoor washer dryer? Do you need an attached direct access from your home to your garage? Are you okay with no garage? Do you need a backyard? What is your max on the HOA that you're willing to pay? How many bedrooms? Is a loft acceptable versus a bedroom if you're going to use it as an office? There's like 30 questions that I ask a potential buyer. And what's amazing is then I set you up on a fine-tuned portal to show what you're looking for, so you're not wasting your time looking through hundreds of listings, right, that don't apply to you. And then this way, when you find the right home, the perfect home, you can act quickly. There's nothing in your way because the seller will not wait for you to get your stuff in order. So how I help you is discuss the requirements, location, what we just kind of discussed, review facts and financial alternatives to determine the price most suited for your financial, space, right? So we need to know what you're comfortable with, not necessarily what you can afford, but what you're comfortable with, because at the end of the day, you're the boss. Provide information on all homes available, in the area, not just the homes that are listed. So for example, if I have a client that's looking to buy and it's not on the MLS, I might go target a specific neighborhood that you must have and ask the sellers to sell, right? So this is something that I invest a lot of time and energy in, to go out to find you that home in that neighborhood with the view of the bay or the ocean or the mountains, right? So we're able to do that, not just homes that are listed on the market for everybody, but specialized for you. I provide direct access to the multiple listing system, which is the source that all properties come from on Zillow, Trulia, Realtor.com. Everything that you see online comes from the MLS. So if you as a buyer get direct information from the MLS, you get that advantage before it has time to syndicate and go out to everything. And then, show you the areas, why it's important, how close is it to recreational things, schools. So setting the criteria, really important. I thought this was kind of funny. Yes, so really important. We need to know what's important to you. And in order to do that, to help you choose a home, we'll discuss the benefits and the drawbacks to each of these homes. Obtain all the taxes. Some places have mellow roofs. It's really important to understand what you're buying into. Are you buying into a brand new community where you're going to pay, improvement taxes for a while? Is that something that you want? Do you want that lifestyle? Was the structure or the addition on the home permitted? Just basically help you at the very end of the day go through this process with no surprises. That's the worst, when you're surprised. So we explain all the financial alternatives to you, right? So 5% down, 10%, 20%, what interest rates that means to you. We go over all the documents. It's so important because that saying, the devil is in the detail. And in the California residential purchase agreement, there are so many things that protect you as a buyer, and are enforceable. So there are certain timelines. So, to have somebody to be able to explain everything to you and keep within that to protect you is really important. So I can go with you. I could be on a call with you to go over your mortgage review with Reed Hazard, or you can do it separately with him and Brian. And basically, I'll just introduce you to everybody on my team. I have a certified transaction coordinator that works with me to help get everything aligned. I review all the documents, and I have her send out for signature everything electronic, so that you can just click away instead of having to sign documents, scan documents, fax documents, all that fun stuff. I'm a paperless agent. I'm able to do everything virtually. Of course, the showings are important to be in person. But so, for example, a couple weeks ago, I went out with a different buyer in Huntington Beach. Now, as a buyer and a seller, it's really important to understand what the public sees. Couple things are wrong with this listing, right? So if you look at the purchase price and then you look at the Zestimate, what Zillow thinks it's worth, there's a massive discrepancy, right? So it's saying that they think the home is only worth $800,000. They're asking for $969,000. Now, yes, it's a pool home. Yes, they upgraded and did some paint and whatnot, but is that worth $170,000 difference? You know, here's what the mortgage payment would be. So what I do now evaluating the home is I run a comparative market analysis, right? So it's done on June 9th. This is the subject home. You can see it's only 1,400 square feet versus a competitor home on the market at $939 for 400 square feet larger. This home is less money. Here's one that's pending $920 and it's 600 square feet less, and it's also, these are all pool homes, by the way, guys, so they're comparable. So, you know, the average asking price for the ones that sold, mind you, you got to really pay attention to the square footage, and I also send you photos, but on the high end, you can see these homes, 750, 807. I think that the home price, you know, could have fetched maybe 890, something like that, but that's, you know, there's still a huge discrepancy. So I had a conversation with the listing agent and I said, hey, I just want to know, you know, if the appraisal comes in low, is the seller going to be willing to come down? And the agent said, I don't know, they're pretty set on this based on multiple offers happening and over ask price occurring. So we decided that was too much of a gamble of my client's money and time to pay for an appraisal, pay for an inspection and other inspections if need be. We just decided, because you know we are ultimately in control of what we want to bid on. Buyers dictate the market. So we decided not to move forward with that home. But I'm very curious in 30 days from now to see what it sells at. And then I'll be able to circle around on this. It'll be fun. Now, here we go. Here are properties that our brokerage have done, and this is the power of negotiation, right? So here was the asking price, what the seller wanted, and this is what we ended up having our buyer purchase at. Again, asking price, got it for this price. So we're able to negotiate based on data, and we can also get it taken off during the inspection period. So what documents do you need as a buyer and as a seller to expect from a buyer when you submit a purchase offer? Residential purchase agreement, that's something that we put together. Proof of funds, so what that means is we need a date and a balance amount of recent, so this month, and a lender pre-approval or unconditional pre-approval, right? So that's super important. Oops, I can go back. So it's important to understand that even if you have the highest dollar amount and you don't have those other two items, it doesn't mean that your offer is going to get accepted, because it doesn't stand on its own two legs, right? Just because the dollar amount's big doesn't mean that you can qualify for that. So making the right offer in a well put together format will increase your odds of getting your offer accepted. So also, sellers, keep in mind what I'm sharing about the buyers. Please expect that when you're accepting an offer. Important dates on a purchase contract. So there are 3. The close date, super important. Does that meet your timelines? The date to remove loan contingencies, and the date to remove inspection and appraisal. So every single time I get an accepted offer, I put together these important dates in this highlighted blue box, right? So once our offer is accepted, you have to put your earnest money in to escrow. The seller will give you disclosures in 7 days so that you're able to review all documents and make a sound decision about the property and quirks that we would not know about unless the seller disclosed them to us. Appraisal contingency, we have that removed in 17 days, which means we have to do our home inspection, and which is the buyer investigation. So we get a home inspector and other specialized inspectors out there to review things that may be of concern, and we have to have those removed by this date. And loan removal, so the lender will give the okay that we are good to remove everything. That's pretty much, it's super important, and we close escrow in 35 days. So it's really important to know where you stand, how quickly we do or don't need to act, right? Now, on the seller side, getting ready to sell, I always love to go over this checklist. You really need to figure out, like, do I need to hire a professional cleaner to really get in there? Tell everybody what your HOAs are. Proofread the home description that I write for you. If you have pets, what are we going to do with them during the showings? Can you go to the park and do a picnic while we're doing a, scheduled open house? Deep clean, declutter, be realistic about the list price and time frame in which you want to sell your home. So I always get together and we create that plan. We find out when you want to sell, how we need to get your home in viewing order by removing family photos, things like that, to have best showings. Create the game plan. I'll present a expert market analysis to show you what your home's worth, kind of like on that market analysis I showed my buyers. It's the same kind of steps. And then, I negotiate the contracts as they come in. So if someone puts down that they need longer contingency periods, we'll go over the pros and cons of each offer that is presented. And most importantly, provide you with that reputable team. So we would have the lender read hazard, cross-qualify all the buyers to make sure that they are actually valid. I have my certified transaction coordinator on my team that helps do the signatures and keep track of everything for our file. And I have an insurance agent that you would move forward with, of getting a quote for other people so that I can show people that, you're not in a flood zone. I have natural hazard reports that I pull. Natural hazard reports are just the natural disaster areas like flood, fault lines, things like that. I really just provide a full scale analysis so that we can get ahead of any unforeseen issues in a transaction so that we're knowledgeable before the buyers are. And of course, title. So then title, I make sure that there are no liens on your property that you may or may not be aware of, right? So all these things are so important to know as a seller before you get into a negotiation. I also am a huge fan of getting a home inspection done before we list the property and knock out a handful of things that a buyer will clearly ask for. That way they can't say that they want, $800 to replace a sliding door, when in reality we could have just had it fixed or put back on a track. Easy peasy. I have an entire team to do these things. So I have contractors that can come in and just punch list out everything and make sure that you're getting the best deals. Now, I'm here to first and foremost protect your best interest legally. That is why we have contracts, and I'm here to uphold those to protect you. So when you're selling a home, these are the things that we do. We put it on the MLS so that there's no pocket listings here. I want the whole world to see your property. Clearly putting a sign and brochure box on your home so that people can go by, drive by, pick up a brochure and look at it, see what's going on, put a lockbox on with PIN controlled access remotely, so that nobody can come in unless I approve it and you're fully aware of it. Feature your home on the Marshall Reddick website. You know, all these things. I hold open houses upon your request. If you don't want them, I understand. We can talk about how to maximize exposure. I screen all showings for you, make sure they're qualified before they come. You know, just basically staying in contact with you, keeping you posted on all the activity every week, handling the contracts, and basically getting you into your next home. You know, when you input information on the MLS, if your agent messes up anything, your dollars decrease. So when an agent makes a mistake, it hurts you. So make sure that you pick the right agent to work for you. So for here, what's wrong with this photo, right? Number one, they didn't get professional photography. They're missing out on this $3 million view. That is the ocean right there. So if you just look at it and that's the money shot, the lights are not turned on. Like, there's so many things wrong with this multi-million-dollar photo, right? Just not being showcased correctly. And that's why it's been on the market for 345 days, right? Here is another huge mistake. People are looking for a single family home. Well, this little A right here means it's attached. Do you see this home attached to the home next door on either side? So these things are big mistakes because some people don't want to live in a home where there's an attached wall. So when I set up my filters and I put that we want a detached home, well, we've missed out on that entire market due to the agent not properly identifying this home correctly. So big things. Professional photography makes a huge difference, guys. Aerial photography, if your home, you know, needs it, if it would showcase the home better, aerial photography with a drone and video, 3D Matterporting, so people can view your home without actually walking through your home. And, you know, just working with all the experts. So I kind of discussed before all the people, insurance is one of them. You know, here's Stan and Michael. They've been working with us forever. They have their own private line for you guys. And of course, Reed is key. And if you guys are not planning on selling the home that you're currently in and then maybe keeping it as a rental, I have the Marshall Reddick property management team to work with you. And then we just get you into your new home and you keep your other home as a rental. These are the fees as a quick kind of guideline, right? So we do not have lease renewal fees. A lot of other companies do. We split the late fee with you, so there's no incentive for tenants to be late. We want you to make money too. There's no setup fees, no maintenance coordination fees. So like say a dishwasher, overflowed, we wouldn't charge you anything to oversee that maintenance. It would just be a direct invoice from the company to you. And that's that, but we charge 7%. Now, what to do next, right? So much information that we just went over. Thanks for bearing with me through all the numbers. But it's really important to understand, your must-haves, wants, can'ts, and must-haves. Evaluate all the options that are feasible to you, and in what time frame must you move. So we got to create your plan to accomplish your goals, and that's what happens on a consultation with myself or one of my colleagues. Next steps for buyers are these. We would go ahead and get your goals, your timelines, connect you to Reed to get your pre-approval going in addition to whomever you feel might be better. It's always great to compare. And then third, set you up on a drip campaign from the multiple listing system so that you get the most current inventory first that is identified with what your your must-haves are. And then we begin property touring. I set up the most logical way to tour, and then we go, and you get to see them in person. Now the next steps for the sellers, right? So I can meet at your home to discuss the marketing strategy. I'm also awesome at meeting virtually on video. You can do a video walkthrough of your home. We can meet face to face on a go-to meeting that I can arrange with cameras so that you can see me directly. So it's like we're having the face-to-face conversation without contact. Whatever you are most comfortable with makes me happy. Preparing the home for sale, having contractors come through and fix up little things, get professional photography done, and then launching it live after we've made our plan. And then we get the most offers and tons of buyers out there looking to buy. So it's a great time for sellers, guys. And this is me. I love putting up that sold sign. It always makes me happy. This is my cell phone. So if you guys want to take a picture of that, if you just want to go ahead, pick up your cell phone and text me at 310-490-3124 and say, hi, it's me, John, or whomever. Hi, it's me, Kathy. I would love to have a conversation with you. I'm available now, or we can set a specific time. Go ahead and email me, but I would love to make you a happy client so that we can also celebrate. Thanks for your time, guys. We'll talk soon.